Our conversation in the next hour is going to be about making business easier and logistically speaking. But let's begin with the day's proverb.
Right. Kana mwimbaji na utaimba wimbo.
Kaa na mwimbaji na utaimba wimbo.
Yes, directly translated, sit with a singer and you will sing a song. Or you will sing songs.
Your company influences you.
One could argue your company is you. You've heard of people saying, this person is okay, but it's the company he keeps. So, ostensibly what's being suggested is that the company forced him to be with them, and yet the choice is on the person who joined that company. So, it is you. Not like you, it is you.
It is you.
Yes.
Okay. Now you have card next to somebody. Let me introduce him. His name is Kevin Kaburu. He is the marketing VP for Sendy Limited. And we'll be talking about Sendy shortly. Also joining us in the studio is Chris Nyaga. I'm running away from that so I can come back nicely into it.
Okay.
He's a general manager, fulfillment at Sendy, in charge of the East African region. One is vice president, the other one is GM fulfillment. Now, ask.
The way you segued into it, I was thinking, so because I'm sitting next to
a vice president.
Vice President marketing.
Yes.
So therefore I am what exactly?
You are the president.
By association. Very nice. If you sit with the singer, you will sing songs.
All right. So Ndu now is sitting next to
Fulfillment
Mr.
manager.
Fulfillment.
She's getting fulfilled.
She's getting
Welcome, gentlemen. Thank you very much for joining us this morning in the Situation Room.
Thank you for having us.
Let's first start by understanding Sendy. Okay, there are people who know Sendy. There are people who have heard Sendy. There are people who've never heard Sendy. Who is Sendy? Who takes the question? Bona VP.
So I'll take that, and thanks for having us. I think for us, when we say Sendy, we talk about a platform that we use to sort out logistics. And just to give a quick narrative, which my colleague Chris likes giving, is we started off with thinking, how do you get to enable people to actually get whatever product or goods or inventory that they have to the last mile? And it started with us just looking at Kenya, just moving things within the CBD, within Nairobi and to the outskirts of Nairobi, starting with people walking in town, delivering goods, moving to motorbikes, then moving to pickups, then vans. And shortly we realized, there's an opportunity to move beyond this. So we moved into cross-border movement, so moving of cargo between inter-country. And then now, finally we realized, yes, it's all this, but we have a new segment of people, and that's what we're going to talk to about today, where we have individuals who are trying to hustle or starting off their businesses. How do you enable them to just have a hassle-free sort of logistics.
Hassle-free hustling.
Yes, logistics sort of side of things, so that they can sell, and for us, we are able to fulfill for them. And that, when you talk about fulfillment, that's what you're talking about. So Sendy is a platform where we don't own assets, where people just plug in with the assets, whether it's trucks, motorbikes, tuk-tuks, anything you think about, and we're able to do actually movement of goods and inventory between individuals, between countries, between cities, across Africa right now. Yeah.
Chris, then come in here, because Kevin talks about the fulfillment aspect of the small business person, micro and small, and they have all these logistical challenges. And how do you then fit in?
Yeah, so one of the ways we got into this is we realized there's a huge segment that is largely informal, that is not captured by anyone. Somebody selling their goods on social commerce, on Facebook, Instagram, WhatsApp. And the market is not really thinking about them. There's no solutions for them, in the sense that a lot of these people are, say, storing their goods within their premises or in the boot of their vehicles. And when they get orders that they're doing as a side hustle, then it's really challenging for them to actually get those items to the users, right? So here comes Sendy Fulfillment. We're thinking of this problem from an angle of, these are customers we've dealt with before. We've provided them point-to-point solutions through our technology. How about we provide just end-to-end fulfillment, which is now basically involving, we'll keep the items in consignment in our fulfillment center, which is an aspect of storage. And then every time they receive an order, we give them a platform, an app. They can place the order, and then we will just do the pick, pack, ship, and they don't have to worry about a thing. And then the customers on the other end are able to also see, the goods coming to them. They don't have to keep calling, where's the delivery agent and so on. So really, that's problem we saw in the market, and we're stepping out to solve it.
Yes. Did this change? Because also we saw a shift in the way in which business was done over the last 1.5 years, whereby we had a lot of people then who were going into production. Now, when it came to business, and they were doing this from their homes, obviously, because one, COVID was a big factor that affected that. There was a loss of employment, etc., etc. So did you see a shift in this, that storage was also needed? People are producing from their homes in terms of distance between where they could deliver and where they were producing. How did it then help in terms of fulfilling the business aspect as well as then serving the customer?
Yeah, so interesting you mentioned that, COVID has come with the different situations, not sure is the right word, has come with different implications, rather. And one of them is that people have learned that you've got to rethink how you do your business. And especially social and e-commerce has really been at the forefront of making sure that people can still maintain their distance wherever they are. They can work from home and all that, but still get their supplies, right? So we've really seen a shift to consumer goods consumption. People are really out there to the everyday essentials to get them online, as opposed to walking into your usual mall and shopping there. So we've seen a shift in that. And also there's been an issue around containers that has been happening. So that also has an impact in terms of we've had more and more production in country. And for that, there's a bigger need to fulfill. We're not really out to solve storage. That's not the main thing we're out to solve, because we think people are, have figured out ways to do that. But we're there just to keep inventory for the people who want to actually get to the last mile. So that's what we're stepping out here.
I heard you say that you don't really own assets.
Yep.
You don't have lorries, you don't have pickups, you don't have motorbikes, and yet you send things. Okay.
Yeah. So,
because, from a layman's point of view, this is magic now. Tell me how it's done.
I know Chris will add to it, but think about it. We're providing people with a platform. I mean, City, yourself, if you come right now and you have a truck probably, and it's always by the roadside parked the entire day, not having any work. So you just plug into it. And for us, what we're saying is we get you people to actually come and take the orders or move the goods. And wherever you are, you just plug in and move the goods. So we are asset free. It makes it easier. So we are trying to actually get earnings, decent earnings for riders, whether it's your motorbike, whether it's your tuk-tuk, your pickup, your truck, your 28-ton truck, anything of that sort. So you plug in and you're able to actually do business easily.
So then I imagine that you have people who are in this value chain. You've got the transport service providers, from big trucks to small vans to motorbikes. And then who else do you have? Storage facilities. If big truck has brought in goods from Nairobi to Eldoret, and there for various people who've sent, then you've got to have some storage facility there. So you have all these people who then also subscribe and provide a service to you.
So probably Chris will take it.
So we're a tech company at heart, right? So our main business is connecting the users of the people who need services with people who provide the services. And we are out there to make it easy to do business. That's a core thing. That's one thing we look at. And then how do we make it easier for people to do business from that angle? How we do that? Yes, we have an ecosystem of partners, like you said, drivers, all the way from motorbike owners, all the way to trailers. And a lot of people know us for the bikes that they see on the roads. But then, translates all the way to beyond trailers. And then we've got, like you said, warehousing partners that we work with. We've also got, we are impacting sellers who we're selling. We're not really selling at fulfillment, but who we're fulfilling the goods for. At the same time, we're impacting people now who want to borrow. There's an ecosystem of sellers, again, who, they have their businesses going, but then access of credit is not easy for them. So, our asset, one of the assets is data. So we're using that data and translating it to making decisions around, can we help these people do their business easier by providing them with an injection of that nature? We're supporting a large ecosystem, I would say.
That's an interesting one.
Yeah.
The one you talked about, access to credit. Explain that a little bit.
So at Sendy Fulfillment, we realize the people who are mainly consuming the service are, like I said, the social sellers. And a lot of times they can see they have a market for their items, but then they don't have as much capital injection to put in there in their business so that it flourishes, right? And with the right capital, then they're able to get that. For them to access loans, they would have to visit banks, and that's, they would need either collateral or, X months of trading and so on, right? On the other hand, if we're keeping your inventory, what happens is that we are keeping track of the transactions that you're doing, right? So every time buyers come to your platform, your Facebook page, and they're able to buy, then we can see your activity, right? So automatically we can tell that what you need is just an injection so that you can expand your business. So that's what I mean. Yes.
You're essentially a one-stop shop where people who have ideas, people who have businesses of whatever nature, you connect them.
Yes, at heart, we just make it easier for people to trade.
Okay. So are you commission agents?
No, we're not commission agents. If you think about it, and I think there's one more business product that we didn't talk about, where we're able to connect your retailers to manufacturers, where we do, they're able to order goods at a discounted price, and we're able to supply that to them, and we call it Sendy Supply. I think for us, it's when we provide the platform for people to actually trade, because, they're the ones who are making the money. For us, it's a platform that they're connecting, and we're enabling them to do the trade. So for us, it's more a platform than a commission agent receiving commissions, but just providing that route for them to actually think about, how do I think about my logistics in the simplest way possible. Yeah.
So what differentiates this? So then if we're saying that this would then actually be the fulfillment process to use for your business, for you as an individual who's trying to get, something done from end to end, what differentiates this from your normal, border guy, for example, that you can say, okay, just get this done for me and, shift the process? Why would this be different from that in terms of other competition that is being offered today?
Yeah, just starting it off, I think when we talk about fulfillment center, for instance, and we're asking you, hey, please bring your goods, let's store the inventory for you that you need to sell very quickly. In a day, if you think about the person selling, they have to think about this border person who probably have already sent one out. They need to do another sort of sale. They need to send somebody else. So there's multiple calls. I think about 15 to 20 calls happening at the same time. They're tracking the customer's goods. Have they arrived? Have they not arrived? So we're trying to move this solution, this headache, per se, out of them. But also what you're thinking about is from a pricing perspective. We're saying there is a very defined way that you're thinking about your pricing. We're saying 13% of the cost of the good is what you do. Just to bring it together, today, if you're to, and it's a problem that we wanted to sort from the onset, that we said, how do you get to deliver a product that, let's say, it's less at 100 bob at a lesser cost? Right now, if you're to send anything within CBD, it's 300, 400, 500. It depends. But I can tell you now with Sendy Fulfillment, and if you think about 13%, and if you have a product that's worth 100 bob, maybe it's a set of earrings, it's one lipstick that you want to send out, that should not cost you more than the price of the product per se. So if it's, let's say, hypothetically, it's at 100 bob, and if you do 13% of that, that's 13 shillings. They're saying, have you ever heard of a delivery cost of 13 shillings in Nairobi?
And for real, is that what we're looking at in terms of costing? Or are we saying on the face of it, and then there are other, hidden costs that come along?
If you think about it, it's, and I know Chris, that's his financials, he will speak to it. But if you think about it, if you think about it, it's a whole storage, it's a whole picking, it's packing and shipping. So it's economies of scale that we're bringing together, because you're not the only seller. I mean,
Sure.
you have multiple sellers coming together, and we're able to consolidate that and be able to send it to different customers. So it's not anything hidden. This is very clear that it's 13%. There's a lot of transparency to this.
Yes.
And all you get is what we actually say. There's no other hidden cost to it.
So someone who wants to join into Sendy, for example, I'm just thinking there are very many people who are selling product online. Somebody who is, okay, let me now plug in here. My wife makes Masai fleece blankets under the brand name Indigo 6. And she gets an order, she needs to deliver, let's say, to Eldoret. All right, so how does Sendy fit into this business?
So the first thing your wife would need to do, now she has the information. Luckily, we hope it gets to her.
She's listening.
So, yeah,
I
so-
hope she's getting it.
So the first thing she needs to do is download the Sendy Fulfillment app. And then she can be able to, upload products. And then once she's done that, we will be able to contact her and bring the merchandise. We will pick it up and bring it to our fulfillment center. And then the next thing she has to do is just generate orders and then not worry about anything else. So once she's generating orders, and that's the main thing we're actually trying to do. We want you as that business person to focus on your core business, not to think about shipping, logistics. Just focus on generating orders, which is really your core business. And then we will do the rest.
So where does this happen? Does this happen on your platform or does it happen on their platform? You're talking about very many of these are social sellers. So if somebody has, let's say, a Facebook page, do they need to come and create a different account on the Sendy platform?
So the Facebook page for them or the Instagram page or WhatsApp is where they generate their orders. Or through their platforms, people generate orders in different ways, right? So the platform that we're giving them is to upload the merchandise that they're already generating orders for. Essentially, we're not a marketplace at fulfillment. We are the people fulfilling your orders, right? Of course, we have within the Sendy ecosystem, like my colleague is mentioning, we have like Sendy Supply, which would be able to plug in eventually and generate orders for these merchants eventually. But the main thing is that you are able to just stop thinking about shipping, delivery, and logistics aspect of things.
So essentially, it's delivery logistics. I'll say why I'm asking this.
Yes.
Because you talk about a value chain, there are very many things that come into it. Is there a possibility that you may evolve and get to a point where you actually want to own assets? Because you may see the need and you may see the benefits of it. Because there are companies that do precisely that. And that's their business. And they also do something similar to what you are doing.
Yes. So one of the things is that owning assets would really restrict us. We're a tech company. So what we really provide is a platform and a solution to problems through, algorithms. Like my colleague has mentioned, achieving orders for as low as 13 shillings. We have to do a lot of things in the back end, right? And a lot of the existing players are not able to achieve these costs simply because then they have the other running operational costs because of asset ownership. For us, we are investing heavily in the tech, and this is what helps us to meet these costs or be able to have calculations in the back end running that are able to just get us to that level that the customer actually needs. So it's creating efficiency in the ecosystem through tech.
So the commodity through which you trade most is trust.
Yes. And just to answer you, just going back to us sort of owning stuff, I think the last mile logistics is really fragmented, not only in Kenya, across Africa. Right now, the last mile, you getting that last thing is the biggest problem. And for us, we say we want to focus on that for now. Let us sort that out, because a lot of people, yes, could say they're in the space, but still, it's quite fragmented. So I think thinking about letting people continue selling on their platforms, you continue doing what you're doing, whether it's Facebook, Instagram. We're not touching that front end. Your front end still remains the same. For us, we're just connecting at the back end, where we're connecting our APIs to your app or to your platform or to the app that we're giving you, so that you're able to sell. So we are moving away from the thinking about owning and selling these things, probably in the long-term future. But for now, I think that last mile that is really fragmented is what we really want to tackle.
So what does the future look like then for Sendy Fulfillment?
Yeah, so right now we've a presence here in Kenya and Uganda as well. Ivory Coast, we have presence there. In Nigeria. So the future for us, we're looking to go North Africa as well as the southern parts of Africa. And of course, keep making it more and more efficient to trade within Kenya. We're looking at various initiatives really to, one, bring down the cost. Number two, help you as a seller achieve even more sales by as much as we're not a marketplace, but plugging into other marketplaces and that kind of thing. So, and also solving issues around payment. So it's an end-to-end ecosystem that we're going to be looking at. So watch out, really watch out for this space. Yeah.
It's going to be an exciting journey then for
yes.
you.
Oh, yes.
Asante sana, gentlemen, for joining us. Kevin Kaburu is the marketing VP for Sendy, and Chris Nyaga is a GM for Fulfillment Sendy across East Africa. Thank you very much for joining us and telling us about Sendy Fulfillment. And yes, it sounds exciting with the kind of work that you're doing. It's about solutions.
Yeah.
We talk about, solution, efficiency.
Yeah.
Engineering. Now, these are computer engineers and all. Engineering is about efficiency.
Yeah.
Some people somewhere.
Eric, just last plug-in, I think
Yes.
it's worth for me to say, I think,
Yes.
because it's an offer that we're doing. Right now, we're saying anybody who signs up is getting 100 free shipments. So
Sign up today, get 100 free shipments to wherever.
So once you put the products with us, for sure, you're getting that for free. So that's our onboarding offer. To be very unjust for me to leave this place without saying that.
That's a good Christmas goodie.
100.
100 free shipments.
Just wait.
Across the country?
Like, for instance, if it's across the country, across East Africa, across Africa.
No. Right now with Sendy Fulfillment, we are starting off in Nairobi. We are currently in Nairobi as we grow, obviously.
Okay.
Utilizing our platform to grow to other areas. But anybody who signs up within Nairobi right now.
Anywhere in Nairobi.
Anywhere in Nairobi. You're fast.
And to sign up, you go to
So you go to the Play Store or for people on iPhones,
the App Store,
and get to download the app. But also if you go to our website, sendyeat.com, you'll get to the fulfillment page and you're able to plug in and get to sign up.
sendyeat.com.
Yes.
This is the Situation Room, the only way to start your day.